What's going on YouTube? Effect Records here. Today I'm going to be installing a Bluetooth stereo system in my 2004 Dodge Neon SXT. So this is what we're going to be installing today. Picked this up at Walmart for 20 bucks. So I've used them before and I love them because yeah, it doesn't have a CD player, but who the fuck listens to CDs nowadays anyway? So I'm going to hook this up just so I can get that Bluetooth audio functionality on my Dodge Neon until I can afford like a flip up DVD player, Android powered thing. So this is what we're going to be doing today. So what you're going to need for this is obviously the stereo. You're going to need the stereo install kit, which is how you're going to mount it in there, as well as a stereo connector. So I picked all this up at Walmart. I think this was like 10 and that was like 13 and that was obviously 20. So that's what we got going on. And then some tools you might need is a screwdriver as well as a flat tip and a Phillips head screwdriver. So yeah, let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so what you're going to want to do first is pop out these vents. To do that, just get your flat head screwdriver in there, and you can pry it back. And then they come out just like that. Pretty easy to do. So there's the second one. So with that being said, right in here, there's screws. There's one screw there, and there's also one screw on this side. I'm not entirely sure if you can see it, but you're gonna want to take these out so that you can pull this whole faceplate off. So let's get your Phillips screwdriver. You can go ahead and unscrew these. Alright, so after you remove those screws, go ahead and take off these. They just pull right off. And then that should allow you to pull off this whole faceplate. Just work your way around until it's off like that. So there's the faceplate. Alright, so next up, go ahead and take your Phillips again. And this is where you're going to have 4 screws on both sides of the stereo for the stock one. Go ahead and remove those. This thing should just slide right out, just like that. Remove the antenna. And then you can remove this clip, just like that. So here is the stock stereo. We're gonna go ahead and put this in our maybe put back car pile thing. So if we ever decide to put it back in the car for whatever reason, like let's say we're trying to sell it or whatever. So now we're gonna go ahead and open up all of our stuff so that we can get everything ready. All right, so once you get the stereo install kit open, you're just gonna come with these different face plates as well as the mounting portion of it where you're going to mount to the actual car. So you're basically going to choose the one that fits your vehicle. So obviously these are square to my oval circle thing, so these aren't going to work. Go ahead and set those back here. So this is the one we want. It's going to come basically right through here and have our stereo right through that. So that's the one we got on that. Go ahead and open these, and then you can peel off these things that's at the end of the wires. Just like that. Go ahead and peel all these off. Now I have all of them disconnected. So you're basically going to want to match colors up. So the colors that off the aftermarket stereo goes to the colors that's on this. And then this is what plugs into the car. And that's how that's going to work. So let's go ahead and start matching up the colors. And then we're going to use heat shrink to seal them together. So to save space for heat shrink, what I usually do is since they're so long, I cut them in thirds. So I just cut them just like that, and I'll set them over there. Just like that. I'll probably cut 4 of them up. Go ahead and take your heat shrink. I'm gonna go ahead and do the ground first. So basically just slide that over, then twist the wires together. Then I usually bend it and then slide the heat shrink back over itself until it's around the middle. Get a lighter out. And then they are heat shrink together. So you can pull this apart, obviously, if you use some strength, because they're not soldered or anything, but this works really well. This is how I always do my electrical connections. It looks cleaner than wire nuts, so I'm going to continue using this because I never had a problem with it so far. I've also used it on wires like underneath the car, and I've never had an issue with them coming off. So yeah, that's basically how you heat shrink things together. So let's go ahead and match up the rest and go ahead and get it all situated. Okay, so once you matched up all the colors and there's maybe some remaining colors such as this, you're gonna want to snap those off. This is just so they don't touch anything that they're not supposed to touch. So just clip those off, and then this is what we come up with. So then you can take your flathead and then get this plastic piece out of the connection area. Just like that. I'll have to get those later. And find the one that matches up, which is this big one, it looks like. And then you could take this, once your stereo gets opened up, plug that into your stereo, just like that. And then you can test it out before you hook everything up. Let's go ahead and turn it on. Push the power button. 1, 2, 3. Alright, so we do have it turned on, and it is on. I probably need an antenna adapter, but let's see if this fits. That's not going to fit. I do need an antenna adapter if I was to use radio, but I'm not going to, so I don't got to worry about that. So yeah, let's go ahead and undo this real quick, and then we can put this on the adapter, put everything back together. And so yeah, we're almost there. Take your stereo, slide it through, and then once it latches on the one side, you can take your flathead once again and just bend up these little prongs on all sides, and that'll hold it into the actual mounting bracket. Just like that. So now it's, it's in place. It's not going to go anywhere. So yeah. But before we actually install this in the car, you're going to want to remove this little back thing here. Just take your Phillips. And remove it. So now you can just go ahead and start hooking everything back together. Plug that in. Slide this back. Make sure it's going the right way. And take your screws. Now what I'm going to do with the screws, I'm going to go diagonally. So I'm going to do one there, and then I'm going to go ahead and do one right up here. That way it's already stayed, so now I can just go ahead and put the other ones in. Just like that. I'm going to go ahead and remove this real quick. So once the faceplate's on, you can take your little bezel and then you can figure out which way it goes on. In my case, it goes on just like that, because it does matter. So I'm gonna put that on last. That's what I did. And then you can take your screws. If I get the right screwdriver here, and go ahead and screw this in back to the dash. Grab the other one, do the same thing. Then you can take your knobs, put those back. Like that. And then last but not least, take your little vents. You can just pop those back in. Alright, so let's go ahead and test and make sure everything works. You only got to hit the power button for the first time. After that, it'll automatically turn on when you shut off the car, such as this. It'll say goodbye. Since I already turned the power button on the first time, I can go ahead and turn it to the on position, and I'll go ahead and start back up. So what I like about this is it automatically starts playing the music through your phone, just like if it was plugged in by the radio. So yeah, it's basically how you install a aftermarket stereo in a 2004 Dodge Neon SXT. I'm sure the other trim packages work the same way as well. But yeah, that's basically this video. If you do like this video, please comment, rate, and subscribe for more awesome car videos. I do have a lot of plans in the future, definitely since I got my Evo now, so be looking on for those videos as well. So I'll catch you guys later. All right, peace.